Jacob met with the team.
Christine, John, the group that I talked to is made up of mostly volunteers that do rescues pretty regularly. So they knew what they were getting into when they got out there, but they say no matter how many times they do these rescues, it never gets easy. The call came in just before 6 Saturday, a downed helicopter with a pilot and 6 passengers on board.
It was not a normal setting, you know, down the street where this happened. This was in the wilderness. This was a very difficult place to get to.
That's when this team stepped in.
By the time we got there, it was dark.
They landed as close as they could in the canyon, but still had a 30-minute hike down to the crash.
My first concern was for the rest of my crew. I had to climb back up the mountain a couple of times to shine the flashlight so they could follow, because we had to walk along a cliff.
When they got to the wreckage, other first responders were already hard at work.
It was tragic. There were a lot of emotions going around. You had injured people that knew they had lost somebody. There was just a lot of stress there.
Training just takes over, just like clockwork. It was about a 100-yard hike up the wash, up boulders and things like that. So even once we get them packaged up on their backboard or in the Stokes basket, it's still, our job's not done.
The crew worked hours getting the injured out of the dark canyon to safety.
We're on autopilot. We are doing what we're trained to do. The hardest part is when that's over and we're down in the canyon realizing the tragedy that has occurred, and our concern is with the injured, and then come to the realization that we're not getting out that night.
All helicopter operations had to stop because they'd been running nonstop. The crew was stuck in the canyon in temperatures near freezing until morning.
You start to shift from, okay, extrication mode, we're doing what we trained, to, geez, we're really thinking about the family and praying for the families.
We are always the first on the rope and the last off the mountain.
As for the investigation into this crash, we're expecting a preliminary report in the next 5 to 10 days and a full report in the next 18 months. And that is when we should have some sort of idea what caused this awful crash. Kathleen Jacob, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.